This weekend, tensions continue to grow across the country following two separate shootings involving federal immigration agents, both fueling protests and demands for answers. Newly released video shows the moments leading up to a deadly shooting in Minneapolis, where federal authorities say an ICE agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good during a federal operation on Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security claims Good tried to run over officers. However, local officials have questioned that account. One day later in Portland, federal officials say Customs and Border Patrol protection agents shot a man and a woman in what they called a targeted traffic stop. Both victims were taken to the hospital. Both incidents have resulted in outrage, with protests and rallies breaking out across the country today, from Colorado and Pennsylvania to Minneapolis and California, as people took to the streets demanding accountability and calling for changes to immigration enforcement. Houston is seeing its own response. Demonstrators turned out at City Hall earlier this afternoon, adding their voices to calls for change. Our Orko Manna joins us live from downtown this evening. Orko.
Well, Cheryl, a few hundred people filled this whole area by the steps to City Hall, and this marks the third straight day of demonstrations here in Houston, and protesters say they will not stop speaking out against ICE. Now, the crowd out here started to gather around noon today. Organizers say they planned this protest specifically in response to the death of Renee Good. We saw plenty of signs with her name and face on them. Demonstrators also honored other lives taken by ICE and demanded that ICE get out of communities across the country, including here in Houston. This comes as President Trump has ramped up immigration enforcement actions nationwide. Protesters say they needed to make their voices heard, especially after what happened in Minneapolis. What brought you out today?
There's a lot of things that have been happening, but the main thing is I don't think we can have masked law enforcement murdering U.S. citizens on our streets. I need to express that because
tomorrow it might be you, it might be me. I don't think Renee Good woke up that morning thinking it was going to be her. So you can't wait till it affects you. You can't wait till it's your next door neighbor or your husband or your wife or, whoever. You can't wait for that because by then it's too late.
We also saw several Houston police officers at the protests, monitoring the crowd and making sure everything remained peaceful. It certainly seemed that way, and there have been no reports of any violence or any arrests. Now, we spoke to several protesters and one organizer about what their main message was today. We're going to have more from them coming up tonight at 10. For now, reporting live from downtown Houston, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Orko, glad to hear their voices were heard and that they remained peaceful today. Thank you.